What's going on, everyone? So, the Los Angeles Lakers ended up waiving Jordan Goodwin. And yes, more likely than not, it's to free the cap space in order to sign Marcus Smart. Right? However, you're still going to have that open roster spot. So, do the Lakers look to kind of fill that roster spot? It's very possible that they kind of just go into the season with that open roster spot. Lakers are known to do that. Kind of go in with 14 guys and then bring a guy in the buyout market after the trade deadline, or just will bring in a guy right before, the playoffs and pay him like $100,000 or whatever. But you got to keep in mind that Lakers signing Marcus Smart basically just puts them back where they're at. So like the only way to kind of fill that 15th roster spot would be essentially like 2 days before the playoffs, you sign somebody at like 100,000 and then boom, there you go. Solve your problem. Which again, maybe the Lakers could do that. They did that with Tristan Thompson a couple seasons ago, where they just kind of waited till literally the day before the playoffs and ended up bringing him in, and his contract was like 100,000, 200,000, whatever, and they were able to kind of fill in that spot. The other alternative is that the Lakers know somebody is looking to join them, and they got off of Jordan Goodwin in order to sign that person, because there's a lot of conversation about the Lakers being active in trade talks. Now, again, being active in trade talks doesn't mean a trade actually gets done, right? Like, very different between, conversation and actual pen to paper, right? But the fact that they're in trade talks and trade conversation means that they're trying to make moves still. They're trying to do things, which if you're going to do that, probably going to open up another roster spot, probably going to open up the cap space, right? You're probably still going to come to the same result, which means you're going to need to bring in somebody else regardless to fill in a roster spot. And if, I wanted to keep Jordan Goodwin, but, the argument is, why? Right? Like, if you're going to get off of him anyway, then do right by Jordan Goodwin. Because here's the thing. If you waive Jordan Goodwin now, well, now he has the opportunity to go make a roster elsewhere. But if you keep him on all the way through January, and then now you waive him, now the guy's only getting, 200,000 or whatever it is that he's guaranteed. And now he doesn't get, now it's kind of too late. Now maybe a team brings him on, on for the cheap, but you're just doing wrong by him, where now he might be able to go get a vet minimum with another team. So you do right by him. You get off of him, right? And again, if you're going to do that regardless, then you do it now. Get it over with. I would have loved to keep Jordan Goodwin, but it's fine. Well, there's several guys that are still available, right? You have DeAnthony Melton, who the Warriors thought was a week ago he was headed to the Warriors, and that still hasn't happened. Al Horford, there were reports that the Warriors thought Al Horford was already going to sign, and they didn't, and he didn't. What are they waiting for? Right? Could they be waiting for the Lakers? Could the Lakers know that they're coming? Joshua Okogie. I still think you go get Joshua Okogie, even with Marcus Smart, because he's 6'5", with a 7-foot wingspan and can defend 1 through 3 and is one of the better kind of perimeter defenders. Questions about his offense, but again, you have more than enough offense. You're not worried about the offense, right? So you still have several options out there. Lakers could be patient and kind of see. There's talks about, maybe a Jeremy Grant, a Nikola Vucevic, right? Whether those two get bought out or not, or one of them gets bought out, whatever. Even if not, you can kind of be patient and wait and see, kind of evaluate. But what if one of those guys wants to come? You already gave Marcus Smart the biannual, right? So any of these other players know, okay, I can't get the biannual. But are they willing to come to the Lakers for that case? Even if it's not a DeAnthony Melton, even if it's not a, an Al Horford, right? There's still guys, Amir Coffey, right? Like I said, Josh Okogie, Blake Wesley just got, ended up being bought out by the Wizards, right? And he shot 37% from 3-point range towards the end of the season and was looked at as a good defensive guard, right? Can you bring him in and maybe have him kind of see what that is for a season or whatever, kind of give you a young guy, right? There are still a bunch of options out there. There's also the G League. Cole Schwider was really good, and we could really use his shooting, especially if the Lakers are going to end up going and trading Dalton Connect, right? Because a lot of the talk is that the Lakers are going to trade Dalton Connect. Well, you could kind of use a guy like Cole Schwider to kind of offset and supplement some of that shooting that you're losing in a Dalton Connect thing. Do they bring in a Darius Bazley? Right? We still haven't heard, at least time of recording this video, what exactly was wrong with him. But if it's nothing major, right? If it's nothing that is a big problem, and it's oh, he'll be back in 2 weeks, maybe just pulled something or something like that. It's hey, give him between now and training camp and he'll be fine, he'll be good. Maybe they bring in a Darius Bazley, right? Arthur Kaluma, Christian Coloco. Right? Maybe they bring in Christian Coloco because supposedly they're trying to shop Maxi Kleba. Right? Well, it'd be nice to kind of have another big. So maybe you bring in Christian Coloco and end up trading Maxi Kleba. So the Lakers have multiple options on like what they could do to fill in that hole if they're going to actually fill that hole right now before the season begins. Right? Lakers could leave that spot wide open, but any type of trade that the Lakers make, if they do make a trade, likely is going to open up a roster spot or two anyway. If you trade for, say, an Andrew Wiggins, right, you're talking about like a 3-for-1 swap. So you're going to open up 2 roster spots. So now you have 3 with the Jordan Goodwin waiving. So you bring in, Christian Coloco. Right? Well, now you still need to fill 2 roster spots. So, or technically 1, and then you could wait till the end of the season. So, I mean, again, Lakers are active in all these things that are it's going to be that domino effect, right? You're going to have that domino that bounces back and then it knocks over the next one. And, waive Shake Milton and Jordan Goodwin to bring in Marcus Smart. Now that's clean. Now you don't have to worry about that, which Lakers can't even bring them in till Wednesday. And so you got a couple days to kind of work that out and figure it out. Stay patient, stay the course, let everything kind of unfold itself, let everything kind of unravel itself, and then see. In a perfect world, you go, I would still go get a DeAnthony Melton. Right? Look, these guys aren't signed for a reason. Are they waiting for the Lakers? Honestly, I mean, maybe not, but it's okay, well then why? Why? If DeAnthony Melton really doesn't want to go to the Lakers, a lot of talk about he's not interested in going to Lakers. Okay, if you're not interested in going to the Lakers and you want to sign with the Warriors, what's going on? I mean, I get we're 2 months from training camp, but wouldn't you like to get the money? Wouldn't you like to, especially coming off of injury and you're working out, right? You would think guys like DeAnthony Melton and Al Horford and these, why do guys want to sign those contracts immediately? Because they don't want to they want to get the money now, right? Knock on wood. But DeAnthony Melton's in a workout and, re-aggravates, something. Guess what? Teams aren't going to touch it. Teams are going to be like, ooh, hey, get that worked out first. So why not go get your money? Why not go get your bag? Al Horford, I get. He just had a new kid, right? He's probably considering retirement. So, you want to kind of, Al Horford, I get, right? Take your time. You don't want to rush, right? You got the new baby. Enjoy the baby before you start making a decision. Talk to your girl. Figure it out. Right? Come to the resolution that you want to come to. But, again, guys like Joshua Okogie, I would love to get Joshua Okogie. I think you can make an argument just starting Smart and Okogie, right, alongside Luka, Ayton, and LeBron, right? Have that defensive front, especially if Okogie can shoot 38% from three-point range like he did with the Phoenix Suns. Now, his shooting, if he can have that shooting come around. Also, Marcus Smart shot, I think it was 38% with Memphis, all right? So they can kind of get that three-point shooting down, even if it's not that. Let's say it's 36% or 37%, right? Somewhere around league average. Their defense alone makes it worth it. Now, at that point, they're at least respectable enough to where you keep them on the court and you have that defensive front. And then you got Luka and Ayton running their 2-man game and then LeBron James doing LeBron James things. Also, one of the benefits of Luka is he's not worried about the clogging of the paint, right? Where you had LeBron and Anthony Davis, teams would just pack the paint, right? Because Anthony Davis wants to operate in that 15 in range. Right, so you pack the paint, and now it makes it harder for Anthony Davis to operate. He still can score and do things, but it just makes it more difficult. Same thing with LeBron, right? LeBron either shooting a 3 or putting his head down and getting to the basket. So teams just pack the paint, make everyone else beat you and shoot. Well, with Luka, he doesn't mind. He wants the paint packed because he wants to be that deterrent. And if you don't collapse on him, he's just shooting over the top. If you do, now he's got that easy outlet to the left, right? So he's fine with the traffic. He actually prefers the traffic. Create that dribble penetration, get the traffic. So, you have that luxury. And the reason I even bring that up and mention is because if you do have, say, 2 guys out there that are, league average from 3, it's not as hurtful, right? The whole reason Jared Vanderbilt really hurts the Lakers is because he's an offensive liability and teams just sag off of him and pack the paint, which makes it more difficult for LeBron and Anthony Davis. Well, with Luka, you don't have that issue. So you can kind of get away with Jared Vanderbilt and you're just hoping he shoots league average or around league average, right? So again, Lakers, they need the defense. there's guys that are out there. There's options that are out there. Kind of my order for guys, I would do DeAnthony Melton, Al Horford, ideally, and then probably a Joshua Okogie from there. I mean, there's still other options down the list, but yeah, those would kind of be my 3 ideal scenarios if the Lakers could pull that off. But we'll see. Time will tell what they actually end up doing. Like I said, it could end up being one of the Summer League guys. There are a couple of Summer League guys that made some sense that really stood out for the Lakers. Like I said, if the Lakers are going to end up trading Dalton Connect, Brandon and Cole Schwider makes some sense. Right? If you're going to trade a Maxi Kleba, bringing in a Christian Koloko kind of makes some sense. And maybe bring in a Darius Bazley, an Arthur Kaluma, right? And his size and defensive versatility. And he showed the ability to knock down the 3 ball. Maybe you're looking to bring him in, right? So just kind of gives the Lakers options. I like where we're at in that regard. And we'll kind of see how this all plays out. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.